Hey! What's going on, everybody? Everybody out there in podcast land? This is G-Man on What's the Matter podcast show. Back in the Matterhorn studio with the beautiful Kel. How you doing, Kel?
I'm doing great. How are you?
You're looking really serious right now.
I'm trying to post on Facebook and get the thing out there.
I know, but I get to see your study face every Wednesday. All right. So, what's been going on this last week? Quick test. What did we do the show on last week? What's the matter with?
We had Art and we had our golf buddy.
Right.
Oh my God, what was the topic?
What's the matter with winning?
Oh, winning.
Yeah, winning. Do you remember?
I've slept since then.
Now, what about today? What's the name of the podcast today?
Today is What's the Matter with Waiting.
Waiting.
That
That's
one I
right.
know.
That's right.
Yeah.
What's the matter with
'Cause
waiting?
I'm not very good at it.
So, well, we all have our challenges at different times, right? And so that's what we're going to do is we're going to break this down. But one of the key thoughts I love. You know what I like working with you
Wow.
is like when I don't know, like these little sound bites. I love watching your brain work and then processing it and seeing whether anything's worthy or not.
That's
So
funny.
as far as waiting goes, I'm going to be popping into some different themes of the show today, something new.
Awesome.
And so think about today as waiting, and one of our grounded anchors is that we'll be talking about the future you versus the right now you.
Okay. I love that concept.
Right?
Yeah.
Already.
Yep.
So we want to explore waiting as a skill. And again, the main anchor, think about delayed gratification, which is jargon, right? It's jargon, delayed gratification. But more than that, identifying urges versus intention, patience versus paralysis. And in other words, being able to identify and appreciate when waiting is actually going to be good for you. Because sometimes waiting is bad for you.
Right.
You know, if you wait too long to go to the bathroom, if you don't pee before you go.
Right.
Different problems for different people. But waiting isn't the problem. What you do while waiting is the problem. You can't sometimes be controlling when you're in a traffic jam.
Right.
So what can you control when you're in a traffic jam, Cal?
You can control your central nervous system.
Yes.
You can control your breathing.
Yeah.
You can control your cortisol spike.
Yeah. And you can choose whether to be
You can choose
upset
your
or not,
behavior. You can
right?
choose your
Yeah,
modality.
yeah,
how
it's
you feel.
self-monitoring, right? And so, as I mentioned, so delayed gratification, we're always trying to set things as far as like the definition in the beginning of the show. But delayed gratification is basically, as I mentioned, the future you versus the right now you. And I want you to understand also that urges, I mean, they're real. Urges are real. But they're not always instructions. That's another good one to like be able to say, oh, why am I, is this an
What is this
urge?
impulse?
Yeah, what is this impulse and stuff? So we'll be breaking that down today. Another little delayed gratification I think that you'll really like is that delayed gratification is the future you fighting the right now you. Remember how we framed that in the beginning? How future is the future you versus the right now you. So delayed gratification is the future you fighting the right now you, as far as delayed gratification goes. Because there has to be this.
It's not always a fight.
Well, you know how
yeah,
it
it's
metaphorical.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's definitely.
I'm all about metaphorical
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
If you haven't
it's
seen that by
definitely
now.
it can conflict.
But let's do this before we get into this stuff and start forgetting. Is giving a shout out to the sponsor of the show, World Matters Incorporated, and the creator and producer of the show, Big Bongo Productions. And so you will appreciate this, again, identifying there's three types of waiting, basically three types of waiting that we'll be talking about today. One is passive waiting, where you're stuck somewhere, and then so you're just scrolling, going through your phone, just kind of like doing these mindless type of things. And that actually may, again, in the moment, lead to you kind of spiraling down that doom scroll thing. So we talked about being careful about that. But another kind of waiting is active waiting.
Yes.
Now, when I say active waiting, what do you think?
When I think active waiting, I think whatever it is you're waiting for, you're still working on.
Good job.
You're working towards it, on it,
Yes.
sending energy to it. You're still, there's still a focus.
Yeah, I don't know about that energy thing, but I get what you're saying though. But more,
You're putting
I
energy
guess
toward
more.
it. Like when you're
Well,
focused
yeah,
on it,
I
you're
see what
sending
you're
energy
saying.
toward it. I don't mean in some spiritual, metaphysical
Yeah,
way. Like
that's what I was
sending
going with
energy.
that.
No, I don't mean that. I mean literally.
yes, no,
Putting
you're
your
putting
energy
effort
into it.
You're putting
Sending your
effort
energy
towards it.
into
Yes.
whatever you're doing. Yeah.
So yeah, active waiting, you hit on everything. So you're doing some sort of preparing, training, positioning,
Learning, whatever.
positioning yourself. You know, when there's that road that meets, and then the third one is a forced waiting where you have no control. Spoke about it just about the traffic jam,
Mhm.
and so this is where there are results, approvals, other people that you have to kind of wait on. Whether it's a coach,
Sure,
right?
sure.
We had a former athlete in here last week, so
Mhm.
we got to have our coach's permission, to do things certainly. And you, I mean, depending on the relationship as a life coach,
Mhm.
you're going to have clients that say, "Hey, should I do this?"
Mhm.
Which in a way is asking for permission.
Permission. Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and we give ourselves our own permission slips too. I mean,
Yeah.
Sometimes we need to do that. We need to. Okay, I'm the adult in the room here. I'm the only adult here. Why am I waiting
Right,
for an okay from somebody else?
right.
That like perpetual parent on your shoulder. I'm so glad I lost that now. It's gone.
Last one before we move on to why waiting is not passive, because passive, active force, and waiting is not passive, is how about this one? Impulses are loud,
They can be.
and wisdom whispers. Impulses are loud, and wisdom whispers.
Sometimes wisdom's loud too.
Well, yeah, the glaring, but in a general sense.
Uh-huh.
In a general
I
sense,
can agree with
remember,
that.
yeah. I mean, it's easy. These things, again, they're more general and open-ended. I mean,
But
it's
we have to be careful though, because
Yeah.
sometimes with colloquial speech we end up in
Yeah.
concept or thought limiting
Yeah.
beliefs.
I
or thought-
understand.
you know what I mean?
I'm just warning you that it's like these things are easy to pick apart if you really want to.
Mhm.
If you
Yeah.
really want to, you can play devil's advocate.
Sure.
But waiting, again, we're going to be repeating that word often. I got to remember also to keep my hands away from
From
the camera. Yeah, this all kind of new in close proximity. But waiting triggers anxiety, and because uncertainty feels unsafe.
Right.
Right, and I would
Mhm.
agree with that, like almost 100%. If there's uncertainty in things, sometimes, when is uncertainty fun?
Like a birthday gift or like some kind
Okay.
of receiving a gift.
That's a good one. Yeah,
Um,
but not often. I guess that's what my point is.
very
Most
rarely
often,
are surprises good.
uncertainty.
Yeah,
Most
right,
people
right.
just
I
we
hate-
want
I
to. Yeah,
hate
we want to know.
surprises.
So waiting triggers anxiety because that uncertainty feels unsafe. Waiting also triggers anger
Mm-hmm.
because it removes the control.
Sure.
We
Sure.
in general,
We
again,
want what we want. We want to get it done,
Yeah.
or get to it, or
Yeah.
have it, or whatever it is.
and that's where control what you can control, right? And you can control in those frustrating moments. It takes some practice sometimes. I'll talk about that a little bit more later.
Mm-hmm.
But now, besides waiting, sometimes there's boredom, right? But sometimes boredom exposes these meaning issues. Like, what am I even doing this for?
Right. Absolutely.
And that can be clarifying. So again,
Yeah,
the point
sometimes
is,
that gap, waiting, like the gap
Yeah.
of waiting.
yeah,
I mean, one of my all-time favorite statements about waiting is there is a gap between stimulus and response. There's a gap between stimulus
Right.
and response.
Mhm.
And within that gap is where you get to decide what you're going to do. And very rarely are we able to wait that gap. You know what I mean?
Very rarely
Very
are we
rarely.
able to wait
to
that
wait
gap.
through that gap, to give ourselves that gap.
And of course, you're
Once
talking
you
about
count to
different
10,
varying.
Take 3 breaths. That
Yeah.
that's where you create that. You have to create the gap.
Right.
It exists, but you have to physically create the container of it before you automatically let your body take you to the next conclusion.
And different situations would
Trigger
warrant-
different responses.
well, and have varying times,
Uh-huh. Oh,
period
sure.
of times in
Sure.
between, right?
Sure.
But the concept is the same. And so a point of that, between those three types of waiting, passive, active, and forced, waiting is not passive, right? It's not, waiting is not doing nothing. Waiting is doing something while time is doing its job.
Right. Right.
Time's going to do its job.
Sure.
It's going to go by. Time marches on. And so taking advantage of that is what we're talking about.
Well, and the point of wait, the thing is that we have to understand with waiting is there are things that are having to happen in sequence before you can get whatever it is or go wherever you know what I mean? Like, it's not like nothing is happening and you just have to wait and watch the clock and time passes and all of a sudden, okay, great, now it's time.
Yeah.
Things are taking place that are arranging whatever is going on. And
Unless-
that's what takes time. You're not idly waiting necessarily for nothing, just a time space between.
Some people do, though.
Some people do. Some people do. But in general, when you're having to wait for something, it's things are taking place in the background. It's not just time expiring
Right.
creates whatever it is you're going to get.
Mm-hmm. So do you like waiting?
I hate it. I hate it. I'm terrible at it.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible.
What things to you are like worth waiting for? A dessert? Good
I don't
dessert?
do much dessert anymore.
You don't, but like,
no,
so
but a
it's
good
gotta be
meal,
special.
a real good meal.
Uh-huh.
You know, like I don't have much of a sweet tooth anymore. I used to, but now, like, I'll get into a point where I think I want dessert,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll take a bite or two and go, "Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, I really didn't want that."
Kind of brings back bad memories
It
when you were
kinda does.
overindulging.
It really that's
Mhm.
exactly what it does.
Mhm.
Like it triggers like, ooh, you know.
Yeah, because you got to a place you didn't really want to be after
Uh-huh.
you got there, and that was one of the culprits that kind of led to that.
And the whole dessert, the whole way the dessert thing was presented to most of us as kids, it was like a reward for some kind of negative.
Right.
So, you know, that's set up in and of itself, where you're like, I've got to get through this so I can get this. By the time you get through the crap of whatever it is, like dinner, eating your broccoli or whatever, you're full. So the dessert doesn't even taste as good. You know, that's occasionally I agree with the eat dessert first concept.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if it's one of your
Mhm.
objectives,
Mm-hmm.
that's fun too.
Mm-hmm.
And we threatened to do that when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to have dessert every
again,
day.
It's right, but again, it's another thing where like you do it, and you're like, okay, yeah, now I know why I don't do this.
Yeah, that was silly.
You know and it's just an interesting, you know, all this stuff that we think is so indulgent and so wonderful and whatever. When you really break it down, it rarely is.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like getting drunk or, you know, oh, I'm gonna get high this weekend or whatever. You know,
It's
and-
difficult for me to even overindulge with
for anything.
alcohol.
Oh, I can't. Yeah,
It-
I've never liked it. I've never been
It's
a big
truly
drinker.
like, even in the moment, it can
Mhm.
be a little bit fun. You're
I
part of
like
the
a little bit of a
crowd.
buzz. Just, you know, loosen up, kind of.
But man, going over, it's
Uh-uh.
the recovery period. So
It's not worth it. It's not fun. It's
No.
not interesting. You feel like crap. You feel sloppy. I
Right.
do. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, ugh.
it's like, been there, done that.
Yep.
So I'm going to give you some examples of waiting, and then you comment on. Let's go with comment on the over under, the good and the bad. For example, the first one of what you can do, again, under the context that waiting isn't doing nothing, it is doing something while time is doing its job. So what about the example of preparing while you're waiting?
Oh yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Mm-hmm. Can you do too much of that?
Yeah.
What would be
so.
examples of that?
Um,
Overthinking.
Overthinking, ruminating, you can over prepare. I mean, I do. I go way overboard with stuff. I always
Mhm.
make too much food. Like whenever I volunteer to bring food or whatever, I always bring too much, and you know, I always buy too much or over because I've been in situations where there hasn't been enough, and I can't stand that. So I always, I'd rather have too much than too little, but I always have too much because I have that little scarcity hook.
What about while you're waiting, you're learning? How important, I mean, it seems obvious.
How important patience is?
No, well, no, but while you're waiting is to, if you have no control over the waiting part, making sure that you're doing something and that example is learning.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for ways to learn.
Mhm.
Even if somebody doesn't feed you, hey, while we're waiting for
Yeah, go
this
take this
decision to
course
be
or
made,
go read
I
this
want you to
info.
do this,
No,
doing it
it's just
on your own.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And see, and that's just how I am.
Mhm.
Because I'm naturally curious. So if I'm in something and there's a waiting period till something else happens with it, I'm going to want to learn as much as I possibly can
Yeah.
about the scenario in the meantime.
And that's self-driven.
Yeah. I'm always shocked when people don't.
Well, and again, I think it gets to just different things that somewhere along the way we're either taught that or we're not.
I think so. I think that really has a lot to do with it.
And I bring that up a little bit more. Now, what about the example of while you're waiting and while time is doing its job, you are healing?
Oh, absolutely. And that can be tricky because when you're trying to heal, you in a lot of cases your body is putting pressure on you. So your central nervous system is re-regulating, and your neuropeptides are reorganizing. Like your body goes when you heal, even from mental and emotional issues,
Mm-hmm.
your body is going through a process and it's been dysregulated. So getting back into regulation isn't always the most comfortable thing. And it's also temporary, and we tend to forget that. So when you're healing, and you're doing nothing, like you feel like you're not doing anything. You can't get out of bed. You're laying on the couch.
You're just not
the dishes
motivated.
you're not motivated. The dishes are
Mhm.
stacking up, and you're berating yourself in your head. That's the worst thing you can do. If you can't get out of bed, that's your body telling you don't get out of bed. You need hardcore rest,
Mm-hmm.
and it's giving up on you.
What's the line where your body's telling you something proper to do, and then crossing that lines where you actually are exhibiting and embracing signs of depression? You see what I'm saying? Instead of, there's say, hey, I need this. But then where's that threshold? Like, how many days do you need for your body to recharge until you just like,
Right.
I'm getting out of bed.
Like
I
yeah.
can't stand here another day no matter what.
Right.
Even
And
if I feel like crap.
what people don't realize is our physiology causes our thoughts. Like it causes the way you think. So if you're having negative thoughts, don't reverse it. It's your body is saying, look, there's something wrong here that you need to address. Don't just go around, oh, I'm depressed, oh, I feel bad, oh, you can't think your way out of it. You can't think your body healthy. You cannot think your way out of depression. You're talking about 5% of your brain capacity, while everything else is going on underneath, fighting tooth and nail to keep the status quo. So you really have to learn how healing works in order to facilitate it properly. Otherwise, you're going to end up in the same loops. I did that because I was forced into isolated, like, inertia.
What do you mean forced?
After my mother died and I moved into the motorhome, I had nothing, I had nowhere to be. Nobody needed me. Nobody needed anything from me. I had no job. I had no friends. I had nothing.
Oh, wow.
And I was literally forced into
Isolation.
isolated
Lonely.
inertia is what I
Mhm.
call it.
Hmm.
And my body was freaking the fuck out. I
I'll
was
bet.
literally screaming, like, somebody tell me what the fuck to do. What is going on? How do I get through this? How do I get out of this? And trying actively to force my way through healing, and you just can't.
And that's what people need, right? You need some sort of code to yourself or
Mhm.
some sort of internal splash of water, something to shake you out of it,
To-
because you're not
yes.
going to have somebody else to kind of shake you out of
Right.
it, so to speak.
Right. And,
So-
and if you need somebody, either, if you get into that position where you find yourself kind of stuck alone in the same thought loops, you're not knowing how to get out of it, that's when you need a coach or a counselor.
Yeah.
You know, not necessarily a therapist. Therapy, to me, therapy is primarily like you're just kind of going over, you just keep telling the story kind of over and over again in a lot of cases. I like more action-oriented, which is, you know, like counseling and coaching are more goal-directed, where it's like, okay, you know, here's where you are, here's where you want to be, here's how you get there. Therapy is kind of like, here's where you are. Tell me about that again. Now tell me about how your mother affected you. Tell me about your
So
father.
therapy is more of a search, an expedition party versus more
And-
practical approach to
We're
moving
finding out you
towards a
don't-
goal.
Yeah, we're finding out we don't need to keep going into the story. You
Right.
don't even need to necessarily know what the event was, and you can heal it. And it's more effective.
So with that difference explained between the two, when can therapy get to where it's counterproductive for a person?
If there's not a like if all you're doing is venting to your therapist every week, you just go in and tell them a story of crap that happened to you and how the person that you can't stand got on your nerves again, and
Because they'll take your money.
sure, absolutely they will, absolutely they will. And you know, of course, there are some phenomenal therapists, there are phenomenal therapy methodologies and modalities, but commonly therapy traditionally has been you just kind of go in and tell your story week after week after week, and there's not really a specific like end point or here's where we're trying to go, here's where we're trying to get. The assumption is we're all kind of broken and just need to talk about it. And we're finding out that's not really the case.
This other one I have training, it's I think aligned with learning, so I'm going to skip over that one. So when waiting isn't doing nothing, waiting is doing something while time does its job, what do you think about saving money, right? It may be different, but last time I read about only 5% of our population even have a savings account. So with today's world, it is not the easiest thing to do.
It's not even a mentality anymore. It scares me to death to think that we have hundreds of millions of people in this country, most of whom are bitching about inflation, who still fucking pay the price. They still buy the shit. They still pay it's your fault. You know, like people get into this habit of bragging about how much they pay for stuff. To me, it's how little. Like I'm shocked by, like, how did we get into this? We're the generation that was raised on generics and store brand and
That's
open
for sure.
box and refurb.
Cornflakes,
You know,
cream of wheat.
yeah, but I mean, but there was, we had No Frills was the original. And then it came out that No Frills brand was the products were supplied by the major brands. They just
Right.
didn't advertise or package them
Yeah,
and sold them at much lower prices.
right. So it's kind of like they had this prestige brand, the premium brand, and then the knockoff brand, but it's all
And
the same stuff.
it just tells me how stupid American people are, that
Yeah.
they can get sucked into brand identity culture.
Yeah.
And now it's a thing.
Yeah,
Like there's branding industries,
Yeah.
and that people buy shit just by a name.
yeah. Hey, everybody, here she goes.
Like, I don't understand, and especially nowadays when
Right.
quality means nothing.
So
Like
back
we
to
grew up in eras of true quality where you could depend on a name.
so as far as savings go, as far as waiting, savings, do you believe in that?
Yeah,
In saving?
Yes.
Or, yeah. And so
I'm a true conservative.
yeah,
Not politically. I am a conservative
Right.
in the fact that I conserve energy, I conserve money, I conserve resources. I use as little as possible, especially for the things that you need. Like I conserve on my electricity, my energy bill, because I want to pay as little as possible for the shit that I have to,
right,
so I can have as much as possible for the stuff I want.
right. And these things aren't taught.
Right?
The financial
How?
responsibility
I don't
to young
get it.
people as they're growing up.
Yeah.
So now how about this for a fun one? Last one. waiting isn't doing nothing, waiting is doing something while time is doing its job. So let's say you're waiting for car repair
Mm-hmm.
or, again, traffic jam.
Mm-hmm.
Just crazy traffic jam.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh my God, my day is ruined type of thing. So what do you think about kicking into people watching,
Oh,
observing,
absolutely.
just observing?
Oh,
Now it
absolutely.
becomes fun. You're
So-
not angry anymore.
Yeah, because you're not focused on how you feel about the situation. You're looking at everybody else. Oh yeah.
It doesn't
Oh.
take long
No, it
to
doesn't.
be amused
Mhm.
when you're doing that type of
Mhm.
thing. When is your favorite people watching time?
Oh. Airports, primarily. I think they're probably my favorite. Used to be the mall. I don't go to the mall anymore. I don't retail shop, but I would have to say airports. are
Do you wear shades in the airport?
No, uh-uh.
So as far as like people watching, I was wondering.
No, I can, like, I have ways of kind of like scoping things out without looking like I'm scoping things out.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like my peripheral vision's real good. My hearing is real. You know, like my direct targeted hearing can be real good.
Right?
Um, you know, I can look past somebody while still watching them. You know, where they don't feel like I'm looking directly at them, but I can still see what's going on with them, kind of thing.
Exactly. Have you ever been watching somebody and then you don't think that they're watching you and then they turn over to look at you real quick and then you turn away?
Sometimes.
We
Sometimes I'll maintain eye contact.
Yeah.
I'll just
Yeah, just give them a little head nod.
little nod.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
what's
Just
up? I see
checking you
I
out.
see you.
Too funny.
Yep.
Okay, so again, get back to the A topic. We're going to be moving on here, but why do we know? Why do we know what's the smart thing to do, and then we still want to do what's easy, or even make the decision
That's
to
how
do
we're
what's
wired.
easy?
That's how we're like
Yeah,
humans
path
are
of least
wired.
resistance.
Absolutely, we are wired for the easiest, the path of least resistance. Most, like we want the most efficient thing. We don't always do it, but
Mhm.
we are wired to find the easiest.
Yeah,
easy
and
path.
sometimes, I mean, that is the smartest thing, but sometimes
Absolutely, it is.
it's not the smartest thing, is the point, right?
Mhm.
And so,
Well, we've gotten into a whole culture of expecting easy. That's where we went wrong. That whole Staples killed us with that easy button. I swear, because we have this society has fallen into this easy button mentality.
Yeah.
They think everything is just at the snap of a button,
yeah, so
and-
waiting, so,
and the internet has
Yeah.
done that as well.
yeah, we're giving you guys, again, just ample opportunity to embrace waiting. And then what does waiting cost us? General question. What does it cost us?
Is it time?
Obviously, yeah.
Patient, self-control. Like it costs you energy in controlling yourself, in, keeping yourself from feeling negatively about it, finding other things to do in the meantime.
What about when you could have bought 1,000 Bitcoins for $10? What did that cost us?
Opportunity.
Right?
Opportunity. lost.
Exactly. And it had to be in front of us too.
Sure.
Now, what does waiting buy us?
Again, time.
How does waiting buy us time when it costs us time?
It costs you the time it takes to get whatever you want, but it buys you the time, that same time period for, to influence the process, to make it better, to learn more about it.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a strange dichotomy there, that it both costs you and gives you time.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Oh man. It's that time. Little laughing crickets. We're talking about waiting today.
Make me laugh.
Talking about waiting today. So,
Wait. waiting.
I
It's the
almost.
hardest
Oh, that
part.
was a different one. I was thinking. I've been waiting.
Oh, that's a good one too. For
Yeah, exactly.
Tom Petty.
I like that. But we're going to talk about
Boomers.
first.
Boomers were waiting a lot, I guess.
We did. So we're going to talk about. Let's start off with a little happy subject here called divorce.
Okay.
Okay. So this woman is meeting with her lawyer and says, I want to divorce my husband. So the attorney says, on what grounds? You know, you want to do this? She's like, grounds? Well, we have a couple of acres outside of town, and it does have a big lawn, some fruit trees. So it's not empty ground. He's like, no. That's not what I meant. Do you have a grudge? And she's like, yeah, we have a 2-car garage. But only 1 car, so we use the rest of the for storage. Why? So the lawyer is losing his patience, waiting.
Mhm.
And so he says, does he beat you up? She's like, no, I'm up by 6:30. And he doesn't get up until after I leave for work. At this point, this guy's just lost his patience, right? And so for the final straw, he exclaims, why do you want a divorce? And she replies, we just can't seem to communicate. I wonder why.
Right. That's funny.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh, I got to keep that music going. I can't do this without that. That feels so much better. All right, next one. So after I gotta get. I'm trying this new thing. Too funny. Always the first time out, right?
Right.
All right. So now, after months of patience and persistence, you getting the theme here?
Mhm.
Waiting,
Mhm.
patience.
Mhm.
So, Kel, after months of patience and persistence, I finally have the perfect size body.
Okay.
It fits perfectly in my trunk. Why isn't that working? There we go. Okay, I see what's going on here. I'm struggling. You guys work through this with me. All right, now, okay, when I was younger, I'm gonna be sexist here. When I was younger and I'd meet a girl in the bar, if I was attracted to him,
Uh-huh.
I'd share that I had this uncanny ability to guess the day that she was born by just feeling her boobs. True story. And they
Really?
would, yeah, they would. That's what they would say. That's what they would always say. They go, really? And then they would playfully say, go on then, try. Stick them out there. Then after about 30 seconds or so, they'd get, I'm fondling them, right? They'd start losing their patience.
Right.
And they say something like, come on, and demand to know, what day was I born? And then I would just sheepishly kind of reply, yesterday? All right. Okay. Another attorney joke here.
Okay.
A lawyer is getting out of his BMW when a semi rolls by and takes his door off, clean off. The cop was nearby and saw what happened, right? And all of a sudden he runs over to the scene, and the attorney immediately starts screaming, gesticulating, about the value of his Beamer, how much it cost him to get it fixed. And then the cop loses his patience. Says, man, you lawyers are so materialistic. All you do is care about money. And then the lawyer gets even more pissed and says, how dare you call me materialistic? Do you know what I earn an hour? You have no idea what kind of pressure I'm under. The cop says, well, sir, you're so concerned about your Beamer, you didn't notice the truck took your arm off below the elbow. So the lawyer looks down and screams, fuck! My Rolex! So you like that one?
Yeah.
You know that's probably a true story.
I know that guy.
God. So these guys don't walk into a bar, but there's a priest, a doctor, and an engineer You're going to appreciate this one because there's a difference between the three. And anyway, they're on the golf course and they had golf last week. So they're just waiting for a particularly slow group of golfers. So the engineer starts out, Kel, like, what's wrong with these guys? Why are we we've been waiting for like 15 minutes. Doctor said, I don't know. I've never seen such ineptitude though. And the priest says, hey, you guys, here comes the greenkeeper. Let's have a word with him. So the guy comes up and the priest says, hi, George. Hey, what's with that group ahead of us? They're rather slow, aren't they? Then the greenkeeper says, oh yeah, that's a group of blind firefighters. They lost their sight while saving our clubhouse last year, so we let them play here anytime they want free of charge. And there was complete silence with everybody understanding what's going on here, right? So the priest says, that's so sad. I think I'm going to say a special prayer, for them tonight. And the doctor agrees. He says, hey, that's a good idea. I'm going to go contact my ophthalmologist buddy and see if there's something that he can do for him. You know what the engineer said? Why can't these guys play at night? They're blind firemen. It's the engineer. Those guys are... I thought that was funny. I'm going to run that by Dre. That's
Okay.
another golf joke,
Yeah, I think Jay would like that one.
Yeah, he probably will. All right, so let's
I
get.
want to
Go
give a
ahead.
shout out.
Yes.
To my friend John in Philly.
John in Philly.
Kathleen is on.
Oh, Kathleen.
Kathleen says being still is a powerful tool, and that therapy can become a loop, a never-ending loop. And she says she loves to people watch.
Oh
She
yeah.
says it's fun reading them.
Yeah.
She's good at reading people.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been in the people business for a long time. She has a lot of great stories.
Yeah, she really does.
Great path. All right, so now we mentioned that urges are real, but they are not instructions necessarily, especially all the time. And so every urge doesn't deserve obedience. And, so let me kind of find my spot here. That's why. So, we always talk about this, like romance. So I'm going to talk about waiting and romance.
Okay.
So talk about how frustrating it is, and still you're getting these little, I guess, dopamine hits, when you're waiting for a text, when you're waiting for commitment, when you're waiting for clarity, like what are we doing here? Because everybody does it. Everybody goes through it. I mean, sometimes it happens after a couple months, sometimes it happens after 6 months, a year, certainly. If you're dating somebody after a year and you guys haven't had the talk, about where do we go from here? There's those check-in spots, right?
Yep.
So let's talk about, I guess, the angst.
Yeah.
Because that is, right? You're waiting for a text. I know I get frustrated sometimes where, like, you're texting back and forth, and then, boom, they just fall off.
Right.
So whether it's ghosting, and you give them the benefit of the doubt, hey, because I get busy sometimes
Sure,
too, and
sure.
I'm not able to answer back right away.
Yeah.
Or sometimes, I guess to my detriment, I'll be in a meeting or a Zoom or something like that,
And
and then
you'll
somebody else,
answer?
yeah, I'll just answer,
Yeah.
hey, I'm this,
And
right
then
now.
you can't. I do that
And
too.
then you can't.
I do that too.
Yeah,
But people, like anybody who communicates with me over text or anything like that, they know, like, I'm not an immediate responder. First of all of my notifications and sounds are turned off on
Yeah,
my phone,
me
so
too,
I don't
normally.
hear anything.
yeah, unless
I
I'm
can
waiting.
hear a phone call
Uh-huh.
in my in my Bluetooth if it comes in, but I don't get text notifications. I don't get any of that. I
Right.
can't deal with it. So people know that unless we're in an immediate conversation making time-bound plans, or there's time-bound information that needs to come through, I won't always. And I do the same thing. People know I text in meetings and then get it to my heart or whatever and can't continue to respond.
Exactly.
But usually, if it's like just a casual conversation or somebody's just texting me, "Hey, what's up?" chit chat, I'll say, hey, I'm in a meeting. I may need to drop off. Like I kind of let them know
Right.
what's going on.
Yeah, that's the proper thing to do.
Yeah.
So waiting in romance, and that's waiting, not waiting. Sometimes I get that little
Yeah.
country thing in there. but waiting in romance. So let's talk about patience versus self-abandonment.
Okay.
Now, this self-abandonment, I was just like, probably figure what that means in a general,
Sure.
but I did look this up. So self-abandonment is defined as the chronic pattern of dismissing your own needs,
Yep.
emotions, and boundaries to
Exactly.
gain others' approval
Right.
or keep the peace.
Yeah, people pleasing.
There you go. I mean,
It's a form of people pleasing
it's interesting though, because self-abandonment,
or fawning.
and so are they talking about when they say self-abandonment,
Porous
so you're
boundaries. It's like
Right,
when,
you're
when
not-
you say to yourself,
you're abandoning being assertive or standing up for yourself or
Self-trust.
for a right, yeah.
yeah, you can't trust yourself not to stick to what you've already told yourself you're not going to do or going to do the next time.
Hmm.
At like, when you say, I'm going to bed at 10 o'clock tonight, and your best buddy calls you at 9:30,
Oh,
11:30, you're still on the phone. You know what I mean?
I do.
It can be big, it can be small, it can be,
Yeah, or
that
I'm-
inconsequential.
I'm gonna start
but it's
getting up at
still-
7
Right.
and doing
It's
push-ups and go
promises
for a
you
walk.
make to yourself and break.
There you go.
basically.
I like that. Okay, now when you're waiting, and I know you're probably going to want to gravitate toward, well, it depends.
Yeah.
But when you're waiting, are you building or begging?
It depends. It really depends.
Mhm.
It depends on your attachment style. Are we still talking about relationships?
Yes.
It depends on your attachment style. It depends on your trauma. It depends on your wounding. It depends on your experience. That's a very dependent, like anxious avoidance or anxious attached will be on the negative side of that. They'll be, worrying and anxious and over texting the person or, acting what they call needy.
Yeah. A
And
little taste of insecurity.
yeah.
Now, what's the difference between, quote, giving it time and, quote, ignoring the obvious?
Oh, I mean that
Giving it time and
ignoring the
obvious.
obvious is behavioral. That's ignoring the obvious is when somebody says they're going to do this, that, and the other, and they never do, or love bombing, future faking. It's when the people are displaying specific behavior and you're ignoring it
Right.
for the signs that it is.
How do you stop waiting on someone who isn't choosing you?
Fall in love with yourself in your own life. Get really curious about yourself and what who, what, and how you are and what you want, aside from any other being in the universe. Pet, parent, playmate, whatever. Like, separate yourself from everyone and everything. Put yourself in your own little container and go, if I have no input or influence from anyone else, who am I? What am I? How am I? What do I want? Because until you can separate yourself from the influence of anybody else, you'll never really know.
So under the urges are real, but they aren't instructions. A quote that I have is just because you feel it doesn't mean that you should feed it.
Absolutely. Emotions are information. They're not necessarily instruction. They're just information.
Exactly. Now, we talked about saving versus spending. Let's contrast from a choice standpoint, from saying, I'm going to make a choice, building skill almost predominantly instead of chasing shortcuts. I understand cheat codes and being efficient, but sometimes the longest journey is the best one. Because because of that
absolutely.
time,
Absolutely.
there's more little nooks and crannies
Oh gosh, yeah.
that you can learn from a person, from the actual experience yourself, instead of, say, going through a quick thing and then just a quick demo and it's okay, I got that little module checked off and then moving on. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, again, we've gotten into this easy button mentality, this this Google knowledge, quote unquote knowledge lifestyle, where we think we know things, but we really don't. And you know, this, like you said, the easy, you know, taking the easy way rather than building the skill has gotten us to this whole world of incompetence that we're living in now, this whole shitification where everything is falling apart.
And shitification, I like that.
That's, it's a term, the Cory Doctorow came up with that term.
Oh.
He's an IT journalist, an investigative journalist, and he did a beautiful talk. Not exactly a TED talk, it was a talk in front of a bunch of AI people. And he said, it laid out clearly, this is what's happening. It's like stuff was built, and now everybody's focusing on something else, and the stuff that was built is not being maintained anymore, and it's falling the fuck apart now that we're all dependent on it. And we're seeing it daily.
Mm-hmm.
Walmart went down yesterday. The
As
Walmart
far as
website,
their website,
completely down.
did somebody hack
Amazon went down.
Did
2
somebody
months
hack
ago.
it?
No, that just systemically, like, people are, like, their IT departments are running, like, AI stuff, and it's going rogue on them.
Oh,
Like, massive,
whoa.
you know, like, the entire Amazon sphere went down. AWS went down a couple months ago. Like,
I remember that.
yeah, remember that?
Mhm,
And
mhm.
this is going to keep happening.
Yeah, it's kind of like the bigger you get, the harder you fall.
Sure. And people's attention spans are so short, and there are zero standards anymore. Like, this whole, like, tech bro, script kiddie mentality of build fast, break things is literally building crap and breaking things. That's not a good mentality. That is not a business model. That is not the way we need to be doing this. And it's leading just because those are the people who happen to be doing it. And we are hitting an absolute, you know, crash point where this has to be dealt with.
Yeah, this is one of those
In a
times
mature-
where you can't wait.
You can't.
You can't be waiting on this.
We don't have time.
Now, and of course, there are, we hit on it a little bit about health goals versus the convenience of sleeping in and not having to go through the uncomfortable physical part of working out. But again, the better good, right? I think, what do you think about this? Most people aren't impatient, they're untrained. Because my point is, because once you're trained, like we were talking about, you're in the car, and so you say, you know, I'm gonna choose joy. I'm gonna do some people watching instead of being pissed off. I can't control this, and so that comes from training.
Yeah,
Versus
yes,
people that
yes,
have
okay.
had
Now I get it,
nobody
okay.
come in
It-
and say,
the
you know, talk
train-
about this stuff to them.
It's the training on the discernment
Mhm.
of what you can control versus what you can't. The
Recognition.
recognition, acknowledgement in yourself of
No matter where you go, there you are.
right, you know, like where your power lies in any given situation. It's like the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the
Mhm.
wisdom to know the difference.
Mhm.
And that's it's a very prescient statement on, you know, what is and what isn't in your control and how to discern that and how important that is.
Right, and then
And
that,
when it is in your control, do something about it.
yeah.
Like, take action, you know?
Right, or not, because that would be an example. Let's say, like, if somebody is being impatient,
Mhm.
and they're either directing their frustration at you, or you're a part of the fallout
Mhm.
of what they're doing,
Mhm.
then you can look at that and just, instead of looking at them as being despicable, because maybe they're having a bad day.
Sure.
You don't know.
Right.
But instead of casting that judgment on them, just like, oh, there's somebody that hasn't been trained in how to wait.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're doing today, right?
Mhm.
Talk always
Mhm.
about that. Now, what do you think about this? Your habits reveal what you actually believe about your future.
Oh, absolutely they
I
do.
love that.
Oh, very much
That's
so.
a good one.
Very much so. And people don't quite realize just how strongly they telegraph without saying a word.
What do you mean by that?
Like, just in their behavior, in the choices they make, in the things they do, in the stuff they buy, in the people they hang with. I mean, it's, you know, you can see how people get to where they are,
Right.
and a lot of times they can't.
So now, have you ever seen the movie Anger Management
No.
with Jack Nicholson and Adam Sandler?
No. And I can't stand Adam Sandler, so I would have
That's okay.
avoided that one. But
Yeah.
yeah, is it?
So have you ever heard of Goosefraba? Oh. So what Goosefraba is when you are starting to get angry. Think of anger management,
Mhm.
right? So they're in this little counseling session, and this guy lost a bet, and they're 76ers, and he was like struggling with controlling his anger.
He bet on the basketball team.
Yeah, 76ers, and they lost somehow, and then he's just like, oh, the anger sharks are circling, and then so he gets up and he starts around, and just like, man, you gotta dunk that thing, and it's just like, and so then after that happens, here's Jack Nicholson in the counseling session.
Listen to me. Stay with me, Nate. Now repeat after me, Nate. Goose fraba. Goose blah blah. not blah blah, Nate. Goose fraba. Goose fraba. That's slower. Goose fraba. How do you feel? Better.
Okay.
So again, that's one of those things where if you have watched that movie, and if you're like having a bad, it's a way of communicating.
Mhm.
If you're just about ready to explode, and then you say goose fraba.
Or you see somebody who's about to explode, and you just go, "Hey."
It's hilarious, right? It's hilarious if you're in the right moment, at the
That's
right
funny.
time. So, but anyway, so last thing was your habits reveal what you actually believe about your future. And so let's kind of get into waiting as training. And so this is where you turn waiting into an active practice. Because if you can't control time, if you can't control the timing, then you can control your preparation and other things like this. And again, these things are applicable, Kel, in relationships, business,
Oh, anything,
personal
sure.
goals, and all these different things,
Anything where you're
right?
dealing with people.
Yeah, exactly. So, question. I have a question for you here. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, what's the dumbest impatient decision that you have ever made?
Oh Christ.
So she's like, there's so many.
Hong
Like,
Kong.
what's number one?
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. Tell us the story.
Oh jeez. Do
Can
I have
you?
to go there?
I mean, if you want to.
Yeah,
I mean, you can
this was-
you can say the PG-13 or
No, it's not
go
that.
around
It
the
was
corners.
Just stupid decision making in the moment.
Yeah. Well, it sounds fun. I mean, it sounds funny.
I thought it was until he let the real him out.
Oh, it's a he thing.
Yes.
God. Okay. So the dumbest thing. So in Hong Kong. Oh, I think you told.
Oh, yeah. You know the
So
story.
yeah, I think you told me about that. Okay, I get it. All right, we don't need to open that sore.
It's not a sword. It's just I don't know if anybody wants to hear the.
Okay, how about this one? How about this one then? So what purchase have you made that you absolutely needed until 48 hours later?
Oh Christ! I have a house full of that shit. Oh my God. I have over 70 tarot and oracle decks. That should tell you enough.
70?
Over
So,
s-
but like you're a collector though.
Mhm.
You know, some people collect baseball cards, and
Do I need them? No.
some people collect
Crystals.
antique
jewelry.
cars. Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
What
Don't beat
else?
yourself up over that.
What else do I have? Oh, so much stuff. And then of course, with my whole Amazon thing,
Yeah.
I can, when you I tend to, I'm like, oh yeah, I can use that someday. Or somebody can use that someday, I have a lot of someday things.
Too fun. If you can't speed it up, strengthen yourself. Right? Okay. All right. So this is going to be the lightning round. So what I say, you're going to basically say wait or don't wait.
Okay.
Okay. So wait or don't wait. Quit your job today. There's no depends.
I would say wait.
Yes, I would say
Yeah,
wait
I'm
too.
a
We're
wait-
in
I'm a
we're in
wait
agreement
on
on
that
that
one.
one.
Yeah, don't rage quit unless you know that you can either start your own thing or can get another job quickly. That's not a good idea.
Not a good idea. Wait or don't wait. Text them again.
No, wait.
Wait.
Yeah, don't double text.
What-
Unless you're trying to make plans on the time. But no, for communication and chit chat and getting to know, no, don't double text.
Getting to know now. All right, how about this one? Wait or don't wait. Buy the thing on credit.
Wait.
Wait.
Yep. Unless it's a necessity. If it's just a desire thing, if you don't have the money, you can't afford it.
Now this one, you know what I would say. Because I guess the key here is the word start. That's what I would
Okay.
parse apart.
Okay.
But wait or don't wait. Start the business without a plan.
Fuck no.
But see, that gets to the definition of starting, where are you starting your business, right? For example, what if this phrase had the thing of you started your business by first thinking about it and making the decision to make a business, that you're going to start the business before you did the business plan.
Well, making the decision is one thing.
Yeah.
Starting the business is something different.
Yeah. But what if somebody says, I started the business right up here?
No.
That's
No.
technically
Wait
not
till you
started.
give me
You're saying
your plan,
official.
and then I'll
Yeah.
say we've started your business.
You're saying official,
Yeah.
okay. So wait or don't wait.
Trust me, as somebody who's been trying to start businesses for the last 5 years.
Yeah, and you finally did it.
Yes.
Oh, like after this,
Yeah.
before we go into block 3, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Okay, so wait or don't wait. Confront the friend now.
Yes, don't wait.
Yeah, don't wait, because they're a friend.
Don't wait.
Again, the definition of a friend.
Don't wait.
Because if you wait, that could actually
impact them
perpetuate
for whatever-
and your relationship. Your
Very much
relationship.
so. And-
You see what I'm
and-
saying? And-
yes. Like if you get to, you let it drag on, let it drag on, let it drag on, and then you say something and they go, oh my God, yeah, why didn't you say something?
Yeah. Yeah, a good friend, they don't always tell you what you want to hear, they tell you what you need to hear. And my
Exactly.
friends have permission to
Me
do that.
too, me too.
Yeah.
Me, please.
So, okay, wait or don't wait. Sleep versus keeping on grinding.
No, do not wait. Sleep. Sleep.
Most
sleep,
of the time.
Sleep. Sleep.
But
Yeah.
there are exceptions, but yeah.
Very rarely.
Yeah.
There are exceptions if you're in the. home
But you know what you're
stretch or
getting into,
something,
but then you have a
And
plan
then
for
you have a
repair.
plan to repair.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Don't
All right,
just
last
keep going
one.
in.
Wait or don't wait. Take the deal that expires in 2 hours.
No, I'm typically going to say wait on
Wait,
that too.
yeah.
Usually
Any
those
kind of
are
time frame.
false urgency.
Exactly.
That's
And there's
right.
something to sleeping on it. You know,
Mhm.
the more the important
Mhm.
decision, the more important
Mhm.
it is to wait. Okay. Okay. So now let's talk about and visit. We didn't actually. I'm sorry, we didn't do it last week. And so let's delve into your business a little bit more. So
Oh.
I'm assuming that this is in your life coaching.
No, this
Okay,
is
what's
this
your
is AI
business?
consulting.
Ah. Okay. So
Yeah.
let's talk about it. Explain.
I kicked it off last on my birthday.
What's the
May
name of
9th.
it?
Crystalline Systems LLC.
Okay.
And it's my tagline is adaptive intelligence, crystal clarity. And I kicked it off by sending. I created a survey, an online survey, to send to my friends who are small business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, to just as not as a sales thing. Just I really need to know what people are doing, where they're at with it. What's
I got one of those.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I filled it out.
Okay, good. And yeah, you did. Thank you. Art did too, which I really appreciate. And I'm trying to just gather data with where people are with it and what the main needs are.
Right.
And again, it's not to try and sell anything to anybody. But
How
this
many
group-
people did you send that out to?
60, and I got 60.
60. Okay, so
responses
small
far.
sampling.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. And yeah, it's like my A team.
Yeah.
I consider you guys my A team, like my real, like my actual, not just networking contacts or business acquaintances, but my true friends.
Yeah.
That, that are people I really care about and respect your opinions. And I'm just, I had my one friend in Texas was like, I don't want anything to do with it, blah, blah, blah. I said, fill out the survey and tell me that. Like, this isn't about, kissing my ass or telling me, sunshine and roses. I really want to know what people think, where they're at with it, what they've tried, what they're doing. So if you're completely against it, I need to know that too. Please fill it out that way.
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
it.
Exactly.
Like I said, it's not about, I don't want just smoke blowing up my butt. I want to know what people are doing and what they aren't and where their fears are.
And that's why I checked it out. And then, so how can people find this website or?
Crystallinesystems.com.
Spell that for people.
CrystallineE
There we go.
systems.com.
Okay.
And that'll lead you to the Facebook page right now. But I got the Substack set up, the Facebook, the Instagram,
So who is your, if somebody's listening right now, who is your perfect customer avatar? Demographics,
The
age,
it's-
what they do,
It can be male or female,
right?
but kind of our age, sort of elder millennial to early boomers.
So like, say 40 to retirement age?
Yeah, 40 to 70
Mhm.
if they're still running businesses,
Mhm.
and they are they're being told you got to do AI, got to do AI, and what the fuck does that?
Or you're going to
mean?
be left
Or you're
behind.
going to be left behind. There's
Which
this
is
fear
true.
porn. This
I mean, but it
scarcity
has a
scare.
point.
To a point, but it's not as imminent as as
Mhm.
people as they want you to think. It's
Yeah, I think they're alluding to if for people that are wanting to capitalize on it.
right.
That's where
Right, yeah.
the pressure
If you're a
is
business,
on.
yeah. If you're
Yeah.
going to be a provider of it
Mhm.
from a business standpoint, that's where the urgency
But as a
really
user,
is. But as a
you're,
user,
yeah, you're going to catch
you've
on.
got time.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
got time, and it's that's I want people. I want to be able to go in, do assessments on where people currently are, find out what they're trying to do, and then come up with plans to get them there.
And now, so these are, like your prospect would be entrepreneurs or business people, right?
Absolutely.
Now, would they
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
be only business owners or would they be management?
It
or
can be
bleed over?
management or anybody who has leadership responsibility
There you
over
go.
IT.
Okay.
Primarily, my initial swath is going to be, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, small businesses
Right.
that don't have an IT department, that aren't tech savvy, that are struggling already with systems as it is, and now they're being told they have to do AI.
Yeah, so your
You know.
your message is there's
a deep
no
breath.
there's no rush.
No rush.
Oh, that reminds
Just
me.
me.
That reminds me. I think I'm gonna start during somewhere. I'm gonna bake it in to our conversation. I'm gonna start mentioning the word rush, and then if you recognize when I do that, if you hear me say the word rush or something rushing, Russian, something like that, then if you recognize it in the moment, you get $5.
Okay,
That'll be fun.
that's fun.
That's fun. And then my goal will be to try to sneak it in past you
Okay.
to save $5.
Okay. That's hilarious.
That's how we have fun, folks.
That is
You know,
fun.
so
That is fun.
okay. All right, so
But if whatever I accumulate, I will take you out to dinner with. How about that?
what do you mean? Oh, the $5
The $5.
or Darcy.
But we'll both be. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll pitch in.
Yeah, she'll say, "What's my cut?"
Exactly.
So now how about this? Okay, so I'm going to set you up with this. So going into the urge versus intention. Urge versus intention. We're going to be talking about waiting, and a couple, just like my little disclaimer here, where like it really matters.
Uh-huh.
Like we're talking physical urges, we're going to talk about some substances, we're going to talk about some maturity. And so I don't mean to be preachy
No.
at all. Again, just to give some people some tools, because I have certainly been there. Now, that being said, the first thing I want to talk about is waiting to lose your virginity sexually, right?
Okay.
So if this isn't for a show for kids or anything like that. So assuming they're not watching, but there may be some teenagers, adolescents, watching. So of course, parent of 4 kids who are now adults, 7 grandkids who are right there in the adolescence, everywhere from 6 years old to up to 15. So talking about these natural urges versus some emotional readiness. Now, you don't have to answer this, but I'll answer it. So I lost my virginity. There was some experimenting, but it was officially my first
Full penetration.
the full everything.
Yep.
Yeah, it was 16.
17. I was 17.
Yeah, so 16, 17.
And
Now,
oddly enough, that guy contacted me on Facebook
recently?
after 40 years. He broke my heart.
Oh.
This kid broke my heart. I was so in love with
Did
him.
he
We
say-
were very good friends.
Was he calling to say, I'm sorry? Did he-
No.
Just to kind of reconnect?
I don't think he realized
Yeah.
just how badly he shattered me.
Uh,
And
It's different.
Yeah,
I mean,
he-
for the boys and the girls, it is.
Sure,
Like,
sure.
truthfully, I mean, it was more, I cared about her. I loved the girl, but it was more of a conquest. Hey, finally,
Right.
I got to get this over with.
We planned
So,
it. We
yeah.
had talked about it because we'd messed around for a long time. We'd been friends for years. I mean, I'd gone to school with the kid for years,
Mhm.
and we were very close friends. And I was really into him. And
And he was really into you. No,
He-
I couldn't resist. I'm so sorry. Oh, God, I'm sorry.
but we would we would mess around, and I told him that I wanted to give him my virginity, and he was like, "Okay, just." let me
Wow,
know
so
when."
you'd like disclose that.
Oh, we,
so,
we
like,
discussed it. We talked about it. And
Yeah,
he,
we did
The
too.
day I was ready,
Yeah, right?
he didn't come to school that day. So
What?
I called him from
Was
the
he scared?
payphone.
Stage fright?
No, he didn't know. He didn't like. I was ready that day. Like it was a Friday, and I was like, "Today's the day I want to
Did
do
you,
it."
did
And
you
he
have
didn't show up.
butterflies?
Oh,
Do
of
you
course,
remember?
Of
Yeah.
course. And so I called him from the payphone at the band outside the band room and said, "Okay,
Outside the band
today."
room. Yeah.
And he's like, "All right, come pick me up."
You
know.
called him?
I called
you had
him
phone?
from the payphone.
Oh, from the payphone. I was
payphone
going to
to the
say.
band room. I'm like, "You didn't come to fucking school today. Like, what the hell?" I'm like, "Today's the day." He's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, okay." And he was like, "Just come pick me up." So I did, and we went.
How did he forget that?
Like I said, he didn't know when I
Oh.
was going to be ready.
Oh.
I woke up that day and was like, "Today's the day."
Yeah.
I go to school. He's not there.
Gotcha.
So I call him from school.
You were
So-
going to spring this on him.
Yeah.
You had
yes,
a plan and
yes,
everything.
Exactly.
Were you going to
And-
seduce him?
No.
No.
No. It was just very.
How were you
it was
gonna
very
do it?
Procedural. Like
How
it
were
was,
you going to do it? Like,
I was
I'm
just
curious.
no. I'm ready. Let's go. Like
Oh,
it
okay.
wasn't any like
Okay.
we had, like I said, we had talked about it. He's like, "Are
Okay.
you ready? Just let me know." I was like, "I'm ready." So that night I pick him up, and we go to the field, the grass field. We go to my high school.
You go to your high school.
We had these tennis courts. We had a full football stadium, Friday
Right.
night lights, the whole 9 yards,
Uh-huh.
and the lights were all on. Nobody was there. It was 10 o'clock at night. There wasn't a soul around, but all the lights were still on. So we parked the car and go out to the grass field outside the tennis courts,
Like away from like
away
the parking
from
lot.
parking
Yeah,
lots,
yeah,
so
yeah.
where anybody would just kind of wander up.
Right.
And right there in the grass, there we go. And I'm just like no foreplay, no nothing.
Uh-huh.
And it was awful.
Just
It was
did the
it was
nasty-
awful. And
It was
I had to
kinda-
make him stop.
Well, because it was primal. It wasn't
Oh
romantic.
yeah, it was gross.
Right?
It was
Yeah.
just so gross. Like,
Yeah.
very procedural. Like
Now,
okay, let's go.
was he losing his virginity?
no? Oh God, no.
So yeah.
And he was a year younger than me, and he was a Puerto Rican kid.
Okay.
And so I took him home and was just like, okay, that's the end of that. I just went home.
Nothing again.
And
like
4 days later, he asked out another girl,
Oh shit.
Nicole Papaleo.
Oh yeah. So
And
that's
then
why.
left.
That's
then
how.
he left to go to school in Michigan.
Yeah.
He got a scholarship to Interlochen. He was
Mhm.
a really talented sax player.
Yeah.
And that's how we were together. We were in band.
So that's
And-
how he broke your heart.
And that's how he broke my heart. And he
Well,
left.
shoot.
And
I'm
I never,
sorry that
I never
happened
spoke
to you.
to him again.
Until
After he left.
recently.
Until he hit me up on Facebook and said, "I can't get you out of my mind."
What?
I was like, "You're kidding me."
That's a long time.
Yeah. And the ironic thing about the whole thing was,
Mhm.
I was overweight back
Mhm.
then, and I said to him one day, we were
Mhm.
driving in my car, and I said to him, "If I lost weight, would you go out with me?" He said, "Honey, if you lost weight, I'd marry you." And
Mhm.
instead of pushing him out of my car at 50 miles an hour, my first thought was, I need to lose weight. I
Mm.
need to go on a diet.
Mhm.
And now, I'm me. I'm in my shape. He's a fat pig.
That was my
He's
next
so
question: is
gross.
what does he
He's
look like
terrible.
now?
He looks like shit.
So
He's
man,
overweight.
the tables are
Yeah,
turned.
total turn.
That's-
He's a professor at Syracuse.
You
now.
just basically laid out the plot to a high school movie.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Pretty
you
much
know,
an old
the
80s
before,
movie.
yeah,
Very
the
much.
before and
My,
after.
a lot of my life has been 80s songs and movies.
I love it. So, waiting to lose your virginity, right? So we got these natural urges versus emotional readiness, and so there's pressure. There's comparisons, right? The comparison, like on the guy side, it was like who has lost their virginity, who hasn't,
Mhm.
who's gotten laid, and I can only imagine that there are probably times where the guys would lie.
Oh,
That
sure.
they lost their
They
virginity
have
just to,
had, yeah.
so they wouldn't be kind of miscast.
Or girls had and said they hadn't.
And also there's this fear of missing out because you hear that pussy's really good.
And
That
it's
you
so
hear
not.
that.
It's like such a non-big deal.
I mean, no, it's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Not for us.
Well, and again, that's where some of the complexities
Mhm.
lie. Because we men are not trained.
No, and we fake the fuck out of it.
And not just that, but we can reach the old age of 62 like that, and I still haven't fucking figured you guys out.
Right.
Fascinating creatures, to be sure. And something that life would not be the same without you guys, and I say that sincerely. And so let's see where we at here. So the real question that you should ask yourself is, whatever you're having to wait for, right? Is this aligned with my values and safety, or am I reacting?
Mm-hmm.
Especially we're talking about the virginity thing here.
Yeah, that's a real good point.
And so I can only think about pregnancy,
Mm-hmm.
STDs,
Mm-hmm.
your reputation.
Mm-hmm. PTSD.
Sometimes, and you can imagine, sometimes there are rumors that get started in high school that are not even true.
Oh, absolutely.
But when
There are
people
rumors that get
think they're
started
true, yeah, then they start, and so, I mean, class thinking about virginity.
Yeah, and then there's
I
the whole
mean,
body count thing.
You girls are mean.
Oh, we can be.
Yeah, you girls can be mean.
Mhm.
And so, like, how about this? So, what does ready mean emotionally, mentally, and relationally from a girl's perspective, thinking back?
For sex?
Yeah, being ready. I mean, so here's the thing I want you to do. You've never had kids, but I want you to imagine.
Okay.
If you had your little queen,
Okay.
right? She's the most important thing you would be, or would have been a great mom. And so your little queen, and you're having the birds and bees talk with her.
Mhm.
Okay, so like take us through that. What would be important to you to relay to her about being ready?
It would be. That's a tough one.
It is.
It's a tough one.
Welcome to parenthood.
Yeah, no shit. I would most likely. I don't know. I'd probably start with masturbation, with bodies, self-exploration,
Getting to know your
getting
body.
to know your body, how it works, how it responds, what's happening physiologically.
Right.
I would get technical, and just to understand and be prepared for these feelings, these things that are going to come up, and that you're not going to want to control in the moment.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And you're getting swept away and whatever, and you may be having red flags in the back of your head going, hey, maybe I should slow this down, maybe this isn't what I want right now, but your body is going, we want this right now.
Oh, that feels good.
Uh-huh. And that's,
And then
and as
not
a kid,
all
you
the
don't
time.
have you don't have the strength.
What
a
about
lot
the
of times.
what about the subconscious urges to move away from the guidance of your parents? So you've got this deadly cocktail, no pun intended, of these physical urges. And in addition to that, you are wanting to separate from your parents. 17 years old, that's a tough age. Statistically,
And that was late.
yeah,
I was
mean,
late.
for back in the day, or Little House on the Prairie, that's really late, right? So statistically, though, when you're 17 years old, did you know this? You never, that year, statistically, a teenager tells more lies than at any other age,
Interesting.
right?
Huh.
And sometimes they don't even, they're not consciously thinking about it, but again, you're saying, hey, I'm spending the night over at Jane's house.
Oh, sure. Oh, the
And
little. Okay, I see what you're saying. Like little white lies. Oh, all the time. I had to do that.
Yeah, did you do
Well,
your homework? And you know that you didn't do your homework, but you don't want your parents to think you're not doing your homework.
Right,
because
because,
you went,
and okay, this is making perfect sense then, because that's when your parents start to realize, oh shit, they're still a kid but becoming an adult, but
That's
like you're at
exactly.
that crux, so the parents start clamping down.
well, and you
As
remember,
you are trying to become more
and you
independent.
remember what you did when you were
Absolutely.
17. You're like,
Absolutely.
oh shit.
Absolutely, and
Mhm.
that to me is one of the main reasons I didn't ever want to be a parent, and one of the finest dances that you have to do as a parent is to go, okay, and when I was that age, this is what I was doing, and take yourself out of that perspective
Mhm.
and go, this is not me. This is a completely different world, a completely different time, and what I knew may not fully apply anymore. Like, we're at a time point in humanity where we have to question that. We can't just assume that just because that's the way it's always been done, that that's the way it should still be done.
I would bet that it's probably between 70 to 85 percentile of parents say that the most difficult part of raising the time frame of raising their kids was when they're teenagers.
Absolutely.
Between 17 to 9, I mean,
15
I'm sorry,
to
13 to 19
13, yeah,
years old,
yeah.
I would say. Because then after that, they're adults. And
Sure, and then it's,
you lose a little
you
grip.
can absolve yourself of the responsibility if you want.
Exactly.
But yeah, I can absolutely, that makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Because, and now that I'm thinking about it, me too, because
See, got your wheels going.
absolutely it did. Because I was the driver of all my friends. I had a little pickup truck, and I was Mama Bando, is what they called
Right.
me. And there were 6 of us that used to drive around, we were all in the band. And my mother, in order to allow me to go out, I had to have a plan. Had to know what we were doing. She didn't care what it was, but we had to know. So it was always either the movies, the Friendlies, Ground Round, or the mall. It was one of those 4. It was there was nothing else to do, basically.
Right.
So it was always going to be one of those 4. We didn't always have the plan. When I would say, hey, let's hang out tonight, and everybody be up for it. I'd go pick everybody up, and so I would say to my mother, yeah, we're going to go to the movies. And then we'd get together and go, yeah, there's nothing really good this weekend. Fuck the movies, let's go to Ground Round.
Yeah, but you wouldn't call your mom
Fridays, whatever.
and tell her.
Of course, I'm not going to call her and tell her.
Exactly.
We didn't have a phone. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not stopping at the
So
payphone to go,
technically,
hey. And
that's
then
a lie, but
so it
that's
was
a lie by omission.
And then somebody inevitably would fucking see us at Friendlies or
Oh.
wherever we weren't supposed to be, and
Just
we
mess
had that
everything up.
kind of town where it was
Yeah.
like, hey, Gail saw Kelly at the with the kids over at Friendlies the other night.
She's like, what?
What? She
Yeah.
was supposed to be at the movies. So then there'd be hell to pay, and then I'd get grounded, and then it was just.
Yeah. Yeah. Old school Gen
Nothing
X.
ever happened. I was like a mother. Like, I was the responsible one. I was the one like keeping everybody in line. I was
Right.
So like nobody ever had to worry.
Yeah.
It didn't matter where the fuck we were.
Yeah.
My mother just hated the lack of control.
Well, and yes, that's exactly right.
That's what it
And
was.
that's why she didn't have a good time with the waiting part.
Right. Oh,
Right.
she's even less patient than I was.
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit. My mother, like, she took our name seriously. And, like, it drove me nuts. It took me years after her death for my body to recover from
Yeah.
the constant pressure of speed. And she
And
had-
efficiency.
and not even so much efficiency.
Mhm.
She just wanted it done.
Just wanted it
Just
done fast.
next, done. Next,
Right.
done. Like everything I did my whole life, I got caught for a long time in what I called destination thinking, where everything had to have a conclusion. And like I was going to get to a certain point where, okay, once I got here, then everything would be good. Or once, then once I do
Right.
this, or once I have that, or once I know them, whatever it was, there was always some destination.
And that's where I could already hear him. Art would say something just like, so you still needed to learn that it's not about reaching your destination, it's enjoying the journey.
Right, and I hate
Right?
that. I've
Yeah.
always hated that. Enjoy
Yeah.
the journey.
Yeah.
I've never understood that.
But there's
I
truth.
do now.
I started to say
I
there's
do
truth
now.
to that, yeah.
Oh yeah, and now I get it, and I'm all on board, and I love it, and it's the whole thing. But up until very recently, in the last 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
I was like headed for some end point, and I was waiting in multiple realms for endpoints: the flash, the event, the solar flare, the
The sign.
the sign, whatever, thinking that there was going to be this one moment where all of a sudden, how stupid was that? It was so delusional.
So you're still learning. You're
Oh,
still learning,
of course,
right?
Of course.
Now, what do you
of
think
course.
about this? If you need it to feel okay, that's a signal.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, it could be a good signal or a bad signal, but it's a signal.
Mhm.
If you need it
If you need it.
to feel okay.
Yeah.
And some things, again, are understandable.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like I need to exercise every day.
Yeah.
You know, I need to do my dishes or make the bed or,
Yeah,
you know.
exactly. So now how do you tell the difference? Because we're getting into, and we talked about virginity, losing your virginity. So let's talk about waiting to consume alcohol and drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So the contrast between curiosity versus coping.
Mm-hmm.
There's again, there's I think the first time I had a beer was like 15, somewhere around there, and it didn't taste good, but I felt, again, certainly peer pressure.
Oh, was it not with parents?
No,
Oh.
no way. Yeah, it was in it was an alley right by a little
Okay.
liquor store.
Okay.
Well, convenience store, I
Yeah.
guess. It's super small.
How old were you?
But
15?
yeah, 15, and
I had my first drink at 3.
yeah, yeah, that's a funny story.
Yeah.
So I guess the thing is, like, with drinking, now, first of all, again, I have to say, having done it, if I was talking to a young kid, I would say, wait, just wait. It's always going to be there. But at the same time, we ask some 18-year-old kid to go fight on, you know what I mean, for
Right.
our country and stuff like that, and like, buy that man a beer. So there's kind of a, I don't know, it kind
To
of
me,
depends.
It's not a weight thing because I think you need the experience. When you tell a kid that, it makes it taboo. So
Right,
then
exactly.
They want it.
Yes. Yep.
If you it's not a big deal. Sure, you want a beer? Here, have it. And then you get sick, you know, because you're 6 and you want the beer, you know, whatever. It's a good lesson.
I think it's like the cautionary tale. Obviously, it is.
But it needs to be supervised and with parents.
It is a well, and again, in that situation,
Or-
I mean, you're
or
talking
an
about
adult
like
of
if
some
you're,
sort.
you know, finished with boot camp and you're
Not
in
so
the
much that.
barracks.
It needs to
and-
be way before that.
Right.
Way before that.
But the slippery slope again is that even though they've packaged this on purpose, they say alcohol and drugs. Believe me,
Alcohol is a drug.
alcohol is a drug.
Terrible drug.
So it's
Poison.
just drugs in general. Just wait. If you can have the discipline. When I talk to people that had the discipline to not drink or do anything when they were growing up, I am impressed. I am absolutely impressed and blown away and
Really?
jealous. Oh yeah, and jealous that they had the discipline, that they
See,
had
I
the
had no
foresight.
temptation. I didn't care. Like drinking was never a thing to me. I could do it any time. We had
But
a
that's
full
what I'm
bar.
saying. You're the exception.
I'm very much
You're-
so. I never did drugs.
So when I
had
find
no
out
interest.
that somebody that hasn't done it,
Mhm.
it's super impressive. To me, it's super impressive, and I'm a little bit jealous. You know, if I could
I think
go
it's a
back
wiring
and
thing.
do it again,
Yeah.
I would not do it.
Sure.
I would
sure.
not do it.
You-
I would
yeah,
wait.
You had a different experience though too.
For sure, and that's where
Like
the peer
it became
pressure.
an issue for you.
So, what's a pause practice before you say yes? What's your go-to pause practice? Just little breaks that go on.
Let me check my schedule and get back to you. Like if it's somebody, you know, like ask, you know, trying to make plans or maybe.
Well, what if it's not talking with anybody?
it's
What
not
if
about
it's
that?
what if it's like yourself, like again an urge that you have? What's your little pause?
Take a breath.
Uh-huh.
You know, one good, you know, intention, attention, focus, resonance, entrainment. Breathe all the way up my body. Hold it for a minute or two, you know, just a couple seconds, and then slowly let it out. That's the quickest way.
So a little pause practice there. Okay. Now let's talk about the 25-year-old plus brain maturity. It's an idea. So there's a lot of people, many people's impulse control and decision making often continue strengthening into their
So 25
into
is
their
for
mid
women,
20s,
29 for
right?
men.
And through the maturation of their cognitive ability.
Mhm.
And so think of it like this, like younger brains equals, and this is so true, younger brains equates to more reward seeking, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I had some pop up here, excuse me. All right. And more reward seeking and forecasting less consequences in general.
Of course.
Right,
Because you don't
yeah.
have the experience to know otherwise.
Yeah, you're just
It's
like,
you don't know what you don't know.
I was thinking about that the other day. Just,
Sure.
it wasn't you,
And
but there was some.
our
just-
reward circuitry is highly active at that point because it's being developed.
Right.
So it's and we see the results of it now with gaming.
Mm-hmm. And gambling, are you talking about?
No, I mean gaming, digital gaming.
Yeah.
With kids.
And gambling. It's like a
Gambling
huge,
too,
huge
which is-
issue
yeah,
in college campuses.
Yeah,
It
that's
is
well, now that they have these. Yeah,
humongous.
that's true. I'm thinking casino gaming because we're in Reno, but no, you're right. With those stupid new online sites,
Apps, you can do it everywhere. Like
those
now.
those
The gaming apps?
Yes, and they're not even calling it gaming. They're calling it.
Well, it's all ran by Caesars and William Hill.
No, I don't. No, I'm not even talking about that. There's a whole new category. There's a whole new
Oh
category.
yeah.
of apps.
I know what you're talking about.
I can't.
There's
I don't know the names
like
of them. They're stupid
Kinsley
names,
or something.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And where you can
You can
bet
b-
on the
just
political
obsure
outcome,
things,
the
yeah.
outcome of a show,
Mhm.
like really random shit,
Yeah.
and it's ruining people.
Yeah.
It is fucking ruining people.
Mm-hmm.
Like this whole thing needs to be stopped. It's like it's being run by like fucking 23-year-old kids.
So wait, you guys, wait. Now, what do you think about this, Kel? Maturity isn't a switch,
No.
right?
No.
It's training. Talked about that, along with, hopefully in the moment or eventually, paying attention to your environment,
Of course.
right? It's your friends, your
It's awareness.
your
It's just
influence,
it's awareness. Maturity is
and then
awareness.
eventually, so maturity isn't a switch, it's training with environment and eventual support. Because you have to have that, that positive reinforcement in the end, or a support system,
Mhm.
people around you.
Yes.
Let's if you're trying, I mean, the simple thing is like if you are an alcoholic and you're trying to stop drinking.
Don't hang out
Yeah.
with other alcoholics.
Yeah.
Which
well,
to me,
yeah.
it, like totally negates AA.
Mm-hmm.
Like to me, that's one of like I understand Bill W. and the whole thing at the time, but now
Not now.
Not
yeah,
now.
and it's kind of
Not
like
now.
it's still here,
same-
and if
it's like-
that's the thing that works for you or whatever, but there
the
are
fact that it's
there are-
mandated by government
Right.
programs is really wrong
Yeah.
because all it does is gives you a different addiction. Like you show up there, what do they have? Coffee, cigarettes, coffee, sugar to put in the
Mhm.
coffee. They let you smoke cigarettes, and then what do? Sit around reinforcing your story. Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Kelly. I'm an alcoholic.
And that often happens when they do quit. They just transition
Yeah,
to a different
addiction.
That's exactly
absolutely
right.
And yes, I totally disagree with AA.
What decisions should we stop rushing? Rushing sounds like I said brushing there.
Ding.
What decisions should we stop rushing before we're ready to hold the consequences?
Do I like? Am I taking tabs on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Rush. No, I prepared this before I made that offer, though. My disclaimer. That's good, though. Yeah, I like it. See, that's good. That's good practice. I'm not paying you $5 today,
No,
though.
that's okay.
Next time.
Okay.
Now I'm going to be like proofreading this. So I have this in
You
here
activated
again.
my you triggered my reticular activating system, so
I
you're
love
done
it.
for now.
I love it. That's good. Okay, so what decisions should we stop rushing before we're ready to hold the consequences?
Oh, most.
Like, well, we talked about it, your virginity,
Mm-hmm.
right? Don't do that because like pregnancies,
even in, I mean,
STDs.
even beyond
Mhm. Emotional.
the emotional
Mhm.
consequences of like having sex in modern day.
Man, I'm
relationships
telling
now.
you, I have to apologize for guys because we're just stupid.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we're just animals at that point, and it's
But
like
that's not an excuse.
the mature. I'm just telling you,
Right.
it's not an excuse. I'm not offering it as
What
an
I'm
excuse.
saying is, as a humanity, we need to evolve now. We all
Yeah.
know this. We've all been using this excuse for eons. It's over.
Yeah.
Enough.
Well,
You can control yourself. Control yourself in the moment.
But first, I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong,
Yeah.
but first you have to have somebody in that person's life to be feeding this information to them.
Mhm.
And that's the furthest thing from a guarantee. Because again, we don't have requirements for people to have kids. Anybody can have a
Right.
kid. And so I'm not saying that in a perfect world, just perfect scenario, that's absolutely, you can't disagree with that. But the reality is that that's not happening. It probably won't happen because we keep getting dumber and dumber. And so I'm just offering that as it's not an excuse, but when I'm saying animal too, I'm not talking about anything inappropriate. I'm talking
Right,
about
right,
just
just from a
animalistic.
biological sense.
Yep, that's
Right.
it.
Which we are
That's-
not. I tend to disagree with that categorization too. I mean,
The animal categorization.
right. I mean, we are humans.
Well, our human experience.
We are humans.
I mean, however you
Like-
want to say. I mean, again, not as an
we are
excuse,
different biologically than animals.
but that urge is there, especially, I mean, once that nutsack drops, it's game on. Then you have this, again, it's a combination of curiosity, peer pressure. You can't explain it when you, again, look
Well,
at that
and
one
society does
girl
such
or
a
man.
lousy job too, because we mystify it and we put it in all these movies, and you know,
That's
we see all
true.
these actors and actresses acting like they're having this wonderful time.
Yeah.
And then we get into the real situation and it's lousy.
Yeah.
It's just
It's like
sex is not
afterwards,
that good.
it's like, who's gonna clean up the mess?
Right. It's messy. It's
Yeah.
awkward.
Yeah.
It's you know.
Exactly.
It's just it's not what it's made out to be.
Who's gonna cook breakfast?
Yeah, right. And you know, it's like we've gotten to the point now where women are finally admitting that yeah, it sucks for us and we don't want it.
Yes.
We don't care.
I feel you. I feel you. I really do. All right, so let's go. Let's go a little bit into what's the verdict here. All right. So thumbs up or thumbs down. Most regret comes from impatience.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I could agree with that.
What was your point of reference in coming to that?
Lack
Like
of
why?
preparation, lack
Yeah.
of knowledge, lack of awareness,
Okay.
moving ahead with too many unknowns that are potential consequences.
Okay. What's the verdict? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Waiting builds character.
It can.
Yeah.
It
I think
absolutely
again in general.
can. Mhm.
I mean, that's probably a good one. If it feels good now, it's probably bad later.
No, not always.
Probably.
It can be. It definitely
Yeah.
can be.
Yeah, if it feels good
depends
now, it's
on.
probably bad.
It depends on. You know, the origin of the good feeling. You know.
Yeah. Okay, what about this one? People confuse freedom with impulse,
Oh, absolutely, they do.
right?
They misconstrue. No question.
It's like that
No
phrase,
question.
you have freedom of speech, but that doesn't mean you're free
So say
of
whatever you-
consequences.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And it's you know, it's like people that are assholes
Mhm.
that are like, I was just being honest. You know, like they use that as a filter for their lack of grace and ability to interact,
Yes.
you know, in more mature ways with other people.
Yeah.
I just want, that's just how I am. That's just the way I am.
I like
No,
that.
that's just a
I
story
like the
you
way
tell
you said
yourself.
that. It's almost English. It's almost English. All right, now what about this one? Pressure is the enemy of good decisions.
It can be. It can be.
Mhm.
I would say probably for the most part that's accurate.
Right, exactly.
Sometimes it's necessary.
Yeah, because like pressure,
Sometimes it's
Well,
like,
yeah.
you know, if you need to make a decision and you're just putting it off,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden it's
Yeah.
imminent.
But sometimes pressure causes you to make bad
Wrong.
decisions
Yeah,
because
sure.
you don't have
Because
the
you feel you
time
don't have
to
time.
really view all the options. Yeah,
diligent,
so
yeah.
I'd say in general, that's probably true. What's the verdict? A no now can be a yes later.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
No question.
exactly.
I reserve the
Exactly.
right to change my mind at any time.
What about this? This is interesting. This is kind of existential a little bit. The right time is a myth.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that's kind of a little pablum we give ourselves.
Yeah. You just
So
gotta
wait.
wait for the right time.
Yeah. So for non-action. And
Sometimes
that's
you should,
sometimes,
but not always.
but not always. And I think a lot of times we just use that as an excuse. Oh, I'm just waiting for the right time.
Exactly. All right, so let's go into, let me see here, make sure that I got everything. Let's go into the toolbox. Oops, sorry about that. So tools to wait without spiraling out of control. Matters of fact. And so let me know if you disagree with any of this and let's talk about it. Matters of fact. Strong emotions peak and fall.
Oh, absolutely. They do.
Yeah, they go
90
up and
seconds.
down.
In 90 seconds. It takes 90 seconds to
Yeah.
get through an
Yeah.
emotional spike.
So the point is that urges pass.
Mm-hmm.
They pass. Matters of fact. And again, sorry to be repetitive on the show with this one, but sleep and stress make impulse control worse.
Oh gosh, yeah. That's known. That's proven.
Social pressure distorts judgment,
Yes.
and tiny delays can prevent huge regrets.
Absolutely.
Pause and think.
Sure.
Right. All right, and so now for this toolbox. So, tool number 1, if it's not life or death, wait at least 10 minutes before acting. Is that practical? Is that a practical thing?
Not
If
in
it's
every
not-
case, but
yeah.
it's a good guideline.
Uh-huh.
I think if you're able to,
Especially if you're doing something, making some decision
you're-
online.
if you're making a decision online, it's financial, especially
Right.
financial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tool number 2, have you ever heard of urge surfing? I know, I love this, right? So urge surfing. So this is a tool, it's in your toolbox. So if you have an urge, name the urge.
Uh-huh.
Name it.
Right.
So that's step 1.
Right.
And then step 2, you're gonna like this, is close your eyes and feel
Feel it in
the
your body.
urge.
Where is it in your body? Yep.
Yeah.
That's that. That's that. I do that that's a technique I use with multiple different.
When I read that, I was wondering, how am I going to do that with milk and cookies? Feel it without feeding it, right? Name the urge and then feel it
Well, but that's
without feeding it.
It's a really good point because okay, you say you're craving some kind of food,
Uh-huh.
particularly that's not healthy for you.
Milk and cookies isn't healthy for you? I'm just
It's
teasing, I know.
as an example.
Everything in moderation.
Right. So, I mean, you're like, yeah, I think I'll have some milk and cookies, but you know that you'll have the whole bag of Oreos if you do that.
Yeah.
And what it can do when you stop it, name it, you call it out in your mind,
Right.
that first thing was,
Mhm.
okay, I'm craving sugar, or I'm craving something comforting or sweet or whatever it is. That gives you your first awareness. Then go, okay, where am I feeling this in the body? If it's not your stomach, you don't want it. It's in your head.
Exactly.
You're telling yourself
Well, and I think
stories.
the key is feel it without feeding it.
Right.
I love that.
I love that.
And then number 3 of urge surfing, here's where it comes in, the surfing part, is watch it rise and fall like a wave.
It is basically
So
a wave.
that's
It's basically
urge
a chemical
surfing.
Mhm. It's a spice,
Find
chemical
it,
spice.
name
Yep.
the urge, feel it without feeding it, and then watch it rise and fall.
I love
And
it.
I know,
That's
that's
a-
a
I
good
like-
one.
I like
That's
that.
a good one, right? So that's tool.
I use the term impulse. I don't like the term urge.
Yeah, I mean, semantics, but
yeah,
yeah.
But yeah, it's truly
Yeah.
semantical.
But so that's tool number 2. Tool number 1, 10-minute delay. If it's not life or death, wait 10 minutes before acting. Tool number 2, do some urge surfing. Name the urge, feel it without feeding it, and watch it rise and fall just like a wave. And then tool number 3, the 3-question filter, because we had an episode on filters. That's what I'm trying to do too. So the things that we've done episodes, I'm trying to weave
Interweave
these
them,
little.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
You do a good job.
Yeah. And so tool number 3, the 3-question filter. Question number 1, what am I feeling?
Yeah.
Like you just said.
Yeah.
Like where's this
What
where's this
what is
urge
this?
coming from?
Where is
Yeah.
it? Where did
Yeah.
it come from? Is it even mine? That's
Right.
that's a good question to ask. Is this really coming from me, or am I picking up collective energy?
Right,
Or is there
yeah.
something around
You,
me
you
or
didn't even
somebody
you
else?
weren't even thinking about a beer, but when somebody says, "Hey man, let's have a beer," and you don't want to insult or
Yeah.
be having tea while they're having beer, that's kind of lame. But I do it sometimes. I did it with you.
Absolutely. And,
Yeah.
and I think nowadays it's a lot less. I think there's a lot less peer pressure,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's a lot easier to break down too, because we recognize it now, and we call it out. Like somebody's like, oh, hey, it's just a beer.
Yeah.
I'm really just not feeling it today.
Yes.
And most people will not continue. It used to be that they'd continue. Oh, come on, you really want it. You know you do.
Right.
And now people will just respect it. Go, oh, I feel you. That's cool.
Exactly. It's a little bit
They
different.
might push once, but then
Right.
once you cement your boundary, they're like, yeah, okay, yeah, no problem.
And there's still some old school people
And
that
that's
just,
about
just
them.
still right. They'll still go after you though.
Absolutely, they will, because that's
Yeah.
about them. That's 'cause
Exactly.
they want the excuse. They want
Mhm.
the comfort of your presence.
And not a true friend
doing what-
sometimes.
not a true friend.
Not a true friend.
Absolutely not.
So
Absolutely
3-question filter, what am I feeling? Number 2, what am I needing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do I need? There's a difference between what I'm wanting and what do I need,
One smoking cookies.
right? And then number 3 is what's the cost tomorrow?
Right.
Like
yeah.
3-question
and that's-
filter. It's like, should you wait on something? What am I feeling? What am I needing? Because you could be feeling, I want some milk and cookies, but I really don't need them. I'm totally full. And it's
That's it.
late.
That's it.
It's late. I don't want to go to bed. And so what's the cost tomorrow? I'm going to feel guilty. I don't want to feel that way.
Right.
Or whatever
or,
it is.
Yeah,
Oh,
like I'll be bloated, or I'll have that
I'm going to
extra.
have 2 extra pounds
whatever.
or whatever, right?
Yep.
All right, so that's tool number 3. We have 5 of them today. So tool number 4, and again, we've hit on this before, the 24-hour rule for big choices.
Yes.
No major decision when you're hungry, angry, lonely, tired, or
Yep.
flooded, and then
Or
after
high,
I put it down. I
under
put
substance-
or
yeah.
drunk.
Under
No major
the influence.
decisions when any of those things.
Absolutely.
Hungry, angry, lonely, tired, flooded, or under the influence. I
Yeah.
like that better.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Tool number 5 is a pre-commitment. So if you are wanting to wait for something, you remove the temptation. Remove it.
Mhm.
Don't willpower your way through it.
Right.
For example, there was a time where, oh God, how old was I? I mean, late 20s, early 30s, and on a trip, and it wasn't my best night, let's put it that way. And I had kids, and so I'm like, I'm not going to have any alcohol in the house for myself, and I don't want my kids to be growing up, and because they're going to find out about it later on and all that stuff. So I didn't want to. I removed the temptation.
Uh-huh.
If I had a beer or a 6-pack in the refrigerator, it's more likely that I'm going to
That
go
you
ahead
use
and
it.
break down and have a beer, and versus having to say drive to a bar or go to the store to pick up a beer, but just because I wanted a beer with our Mexican food that we had at home or
Right.
something, right?
Right.
So remove the temptation. Remove the temptation. Don't willpower your way through. And then the last one on tool 5 is change your environment.
Yes.
It makes good decisions
Huge.
easier,
Huge.
right? If you're trying to again stop drinking or doing drugs, there's so many examples. You just appropriately figure out something to do
Mhm.
with those persons,
Mhm.
people, assuming that you care about them and you want to continue fostering a relationship. But whatever the negative thing is, communicate with them.
Right.
Say, hey, I need to stop here, so I want to hang out with you, but we're going to have to figure out something else to do. You know, change your environment.
Yeah.
And sometimes changing that
And
environment
habits. Change your
is
habits.
people.
Yeah. That's
Sometimes.
big time. Often. And that whole thing of, you are like the 5 or 6 people that you surround yourself with the most. That's really,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly the type of person you are by seeing who your friends are. Not always correct, but
Not
it's
always. The
good.
people like us, where we're like kind of the hub between a bunch
Mhm.
of spokes of
Mhm.
very disparate people. It's not always, but generally, very generally, I would say about 80% of the population.
So now a 7-day waiting workout challenge. So 3 bullet points. So 7-day waiting workout challenge. Pick one area, whether it's spending, texting, snacking,
Mhm.
impulse shopping.
Mhm.
Oh, I could tell my wife about that. Impulse buying. You said something about impulse buying too, right?
Yeah.
Reacting, just being reactionary, whatever it is. Pick one area. And then practice, point number 2, practice a 10-minute daily about your delay. A 10-minute delay daily on what it is that you're
Whatever
trying
it
to,
is, yeah.
whatever your area is. If
Yeah.
you're going to be doing it, then say, okay, before I do this, 10 minutes. I'm not going to do this for 10 minutes because I'm going to go through all these other checks,
Yeah.
that we have here. So,
That pattern interrupt
mhm.
can really help you in a situation like this. Like if you're used to just kind of following your impulses, which is really a lousy way to live. Like you get these like pseudo spiritual types that are like, I'm just present in the moment all the time. I just live in the present moment. That's bullshit.
Oh, yeah,
That's
that's-
extremely
yeah,
immature.
yeah,
That's not sustainable.
It's
And-
like attention seeking.
Exactly, and it's there's no commitment, there's no pre-thought, there's no
Well, it's just-
afterthought.
it's just
there's no-
not real.
It's not
You just-
real.
yeah.
It's not real, and it's people that think that they're somehow better, because they don't pre-plan. It really boggle my mind, but it's that when you actually make that physical pattern interrupt and stop yourself at the moment of impulse, you rewire your body to be able to stop yourself.
Yeah.
And that way you get that choice. But you have to train yourself. You have to train your body.
I started to say back.
It does not happen automatically or naturally in any way. We're not wired for that.
Right.
So you have to create the wiring. And it doesn't take long. It's not some big deal. But just keep pattern interrupting yourself at the moment of impulse and give yourself, like I say, even if it's just one deep breath or 10 seconds, if you can wait the 10 minutes, great, But just stop yourself before taking the action and decide if you want to take the action instead of just letting your body guide you straight through it. And the more you do that, that's power. Like that's when you really get control of your life. When you realize you can trust your body not to react the way it always does in certain situations, that's when you really have control of your life.
Yeah, and in a general sense, if you can get your body to just react the opposite way that most people do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I mean, that's a good baby step right there.
It really is. Like something that would normally, and I mean, it may even, like if somebody insults you or whatever, triggers you. I mean, that normally would trigger anybody. And a lot of times people are trying to. And if you can recognize that in the moment and not react to it the way they expect, it breaks them too.
For some reason, I was thinking of that.
Up to them too.
For some reason, I was thinking about that movie when we're talking about this Cool Hand Luke, or at least using that name as something to aspire towards. If you're ever having to deal with something like that, just be Cool Hand Luke.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So 7-day waiting workout. So pick one area: spending, texting, snacking, impulse buys, reacting. Just there's too many to list.
Oh, so many.
Step number 2: practice that 10-minute delay daily. Doesn't say every other day. It says daily. Practice a 10-minute
And
delay
a good
daily
one,
on those
A
things.
perfect one for that is picking up your phone right after you wake up. If you can wait 10 minutes
Mm-hmm.
before you start scrolling,
Oh yeah.
That's
I was
very
thinking
powerful.
I do that in the morning because it's right by me, but it's a time check.
right?
I just
No,
rolled over
that's
and
not what I'm
looked,
talking
yeah.
about. Using it to check time is one thing.
Mhm.
That's fine.
Mhm.
I mean, picking it up, checking the mail, checking your text, scrolling the Facebook.
I wait till I
all of
get to
that.
the office, for that.
That's brilliant. That's real
in a
good.
general sense.
That's real good.
Unless, if I get a text, if I open it up
Well,
and there's a text, and I'll check that out, it's because that came during the middle of the night. So, okay, and then
But if you can even wait 10 minutes before you do that, when you get up in the morning,
Yeah,
get up,
yeah.
go to the bathroom,
Again,
wash
it's
your
all
face,
about-
brush your teeth, then check.
it's all about self-control.
Self-control. That's really what it
It's-
comes down to.
Okay, now,
Self-control.
the last thing here on the 7-day waiting workout, there's only 3 of them, and I was thinking about this, because I don't do this. I do kind of in a way, it's not officially, but the recommendation is to journal.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, what did I learn about myself today? And this is as related to maybe in this particular case, what did I learn about myself today when it was related to some sort of waiting?
Mhm.
So that's how the application is. We're talking about waiting, but you can take this practice and you can, again, the journal idea, talk about, I guess, the healing part of why people journal. Why is it advocated? What in this situation would be a benefit of actually journaling when you're trying to deal with making these changes in your life as far as being able to control yourself with waiting?
Awareness. Journaling gives you awareness. It gets it out of your head, puts it down on paper in black and white for you to actually see, okay, this is what's going on, this is what's going on in my head, how do I really feel about that? It gives you the awareness and ability to analyze what you just journaled about. And another really good thing to do is when you're laying in bed, you can journal it if you want to write it down. You don't have to. Just lay in bed before you're going to sleep and reimagine your day backwards as it happened. Like go back from, right before you went to bed, what did you do right before that, all the way back to the beginning of your day
When you got up.
and trace it backwards.
Now, why do you do that?
It's for mnemonics, memory.
Oh,
It's also for awareness of your habits, your ability. It gives you the ability to. It's like when you read backwards, like when you're trying to proofread something or edit something as a writer. The best way to do it is to start from the bottom of the page and read up,
interesting.
because you're not reading in line, so your mind isn't isn't preforming the sentence, so you skip over typos.
By doing
and-
this exercise, I can imagine and it's like answer if it's
There was
something
a
that you
there was a
do.
crucian
I would
practice is where it came
imagine
from.
that like by going backwards, you may be able to make some connections.
Yes, you see
that
things
you're-
that you wouldn't have
that you
seen
wouldn't
linearly.
have seen,
right.
yes.
You're like, oh shit, geez, I didn't even think about that. Or, oh wow, that guy said that. I forgot about that.
This
Like,
led to this.
Right. And you start to see
Mhm.
what your daily habits, the more you do it, the more you see like what your habits and patterns are, and you can interrupt the ones that you don't like, the
Mhm.
ones that aren't serving you. But it's hard to see them when you're just doing them by rote every day. But if you look at them backwards, it's a lot easier to see glaring, oh
Right.
shit, why do I do that? That's a waste of time, or that's, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. It just gives you the ability to examine your own behavior, which few of us ever do.
We're closing in on the end of the show here, so let me know what you think about this. So as far as like a potential little micro segment here. So we're talking about the toolboxes and having some tools. So what do you think about this one? So I'm calling this just fast forward. So let's fast forward 6 months.
Okay.
So you ask
You can
yourself
make-
that question, the example of like, if I text them again today, where are you going to be 6 months from now? Because of whatever action. Instead of waiting, where are you going to be 6 months from now if you do this? If I buy it on credit today, where am I going to be 6 months from now? If I wait and prepare instead, where am I going to be 6 months from now? So the thing you're contemplating, tag it with where am I going to be 6 months from now?
And who are you going to be
Yeah,
6 months from now?
stuff like that,
Who-
depending
who
on that
are-
decision
yeah,
that's in
you're-
front of you.
You know, who is future you? What are you going to want? You know,
Because again,
we
we're
just
talking.
assume we're going to be the same people in 6 months. And
Well-
a lot of people are, but you don't have to be.
Yeah, and you hit it because you're talking about as we said in the beginning, we're talking about contrasting the future you
Not just
and
the
the
future,
right now
future
you.
me.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Who I'm good. Who am
yeah.
I going to be?
yeah, you're talking third person.
Right.
Yeah. You know, the future you versus the right now you.
Mhm.
And again, coming back, you know, to that full circle from where we started today. Now, some kind of little danger areas here. We want people to know that none of this today that we talked about is any kind of like men versus women.
Oh, I know.
We're talking about like impulse versus intention, right? Regardless of who this is actually going through. Couple little notes here. Dun, 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 dun. Man, I think that's probably it. I mean, everything that else that I have left here, Kel, it kind of hits on, you know, kind of reinforces what we talked about. What are your final thoughts today on the show? What's the matter with waiting?
I thought it was a really good one. It's a good topic. And I think it's a good reminder that waiting is a part of life. This construct, the way this construct is designed, we aren't meant for instant gratification. I mean, think about the 80,000 thoughts that go through your head every day. If all of that stuff was to materialize in the moment,
Is it 80,000?
yes,
Like 80,000 thoughts a day?
Yes.
Wow.
we're up to 80,000. It's crazy.
That is.
And-
We're busy.
Yeah. And so, you know, think about if all of that stuff, if everything that you thought during the day, you know, I want this, or I'm going to do that, or it just materialized in front of you, it just wouldn't work.
Right.
I mean, it's built in. The delay is built in to this construct. And we keep trying to circumvent it. And in some cases we can, some cases we can't. And until we can figure out how to fold time space and go through the wormholes.
They're working on it.
Working on it, they're trying. But as it stands now, there is a gap.
Right.
So, you know, it's how to navigate that the most comfortable way for yourself and those around you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not always the best at it. I will be
Yeah.
honest.
What's the biggest thing, what's your biggest takeaway from today? Like as far as Kel being more patient and
The 10-minute. I like the idea of like
10-minute delay.
10-minute delay. If
Yeah.
there's something that I'm rushing towards, I
You owe
said
me
that
$5. It doesn't work
If
reverse. It doesn't work in
there's-
reverse.
If there's something that I'm, you know, kind of like running headlong towards, and I'm just like, yeah, this is it, this is it, this is the thing.
Right.
I used to do that a lot. I've really learned just not to push things. Like
Yeah.
I'm used to, I'm a master manifestor. I'm used to making things happen. I'm used to, you know, just assuming that things are going to go, you know, the way they should, and you just can't assume that anymore.
You can't always count. You can't always count on that.
on that unless it's you doing the whole thing, you know. And so I try to do as much by, you know, like on my own as I can without having to depend on other people. But when I do, I try to make as much sure
Mhm.
around it as I can.
Yeah.
So
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, heck, today we tackled waiting. I want to thank everybody for listening to episode 49 of What's the Matter podcast show. And again, as we mentioned, we tackled waiting, why it's so hard, why delayed gratification is basically a battle, right, between right now and the future you, and how urges and pressure can hijack good judgment. It really can. So, as always, we tried to keep it real. We laughed.
we laugh.
We gave you tools to wait without spiraling, right? So you can make choices. You're proud of when the moment arrives. So a big thank you to our sponsor, World Matters Incorporated, and the creator and producer of the show, Big Bongo Productions. Cal, next week is a milestone, episode 50.
Wow.
Can you wait?
Yes.
You gonna be able to wait?
I can wait.
We're gonna go deep with what's the matter with the dark. We're going to be exploring the great unknown. Talk about why darkness feels safe when we sleep, but can feel unsettling when we're awake. Why some people embrace the dark while shining light on others, and how dark experiences can actually help us see the light. So we're planning having a guest for this experience. I love it. It's going to be unforgettable. So until then, be vigilant, be kind, and always remember that what you say matters. This is the G-Man for Kill. See ya!